In this video, we're going to learn, we're going to do the lab about the strings. Um, the string is actually quite often used in Python. So it's basically about the text. It's a connection of characters. Um, so in Python, string is treated as a sequence, which means that the Python actually keeps track of every single character in a string as a sequence. For example, the Python understands the string hello as a sequence of letters like H, then followed by E, L, L, O. So with that idea, we can do some interesting operation later. But let's first start to create a string. So you will use either a single quote or double quotes. A triple quotes can be used for multiple line strings as well. Here is some example. Okay, so we can create a single quote string. So I'm gonna erase the output of the string. So this is a single quote of a phrase. So basically, it's gonna just print out this value for you. So if you click run, it's just showing you this is same thing. Now I have two strings, and this is a like two lines, multiple lines. So S and T and M, they are basically the same thing. So if you run this one, you're gonna see this is the hello, and this is multiple line string. So this is how do you create. So single line and double line, there is no much difference. However, a lot of times, if you want to use a quotation mark inside a string, it's better to use the outside string. So what I'm saying is basically like this, right? If you want to print a quote inside in string, if you want to have something like that, then you it's better to use a double quote outside. This is Dr. Yan said, and then you want to use some here you can use a single quote. Welcome to Python, right? Welcome to Python. So if you have some string like that, then you can simply just do a double quote. Then inside you can use a single quote. So you see here is showing. If you use single quote, this is doable, but it's much harder. It's a little bit more difficult. You can do something like you can use a escape key. For example, you can do a single quote. This is Dr. Yan said, and then here you have to escape this single quote. Welcome to Python, right? So, okay, and then you print it again. Maybe you add a number 2 right here, and then print quote in string number 2. Okay, I run it again. You see it's the same thing. However, it's here we escape the single quote. Otherwise, it will treat it like this is a string, and then it will complain this one does not have the quote. So you will have to use the escape to escape this one, and then escape the ending quote. So you can also use double quotes, right? And then be careful with the quotes. So like I am, you're going to have problems. Then for this case, you have to use the escape. So this is what we're saying. So this says invalid text, invalid syntax, because what it does is treat it as the first part as a string, and then the second part does not have the beginning quote. It's only have the ending quotes, does not have the beginning quotes. So you got to be careful. To correct that, you can use a double quote with a single quote, or use a escape key, just like what we did here, right? So that's how do you create a string. Next one is gonna be how do you actually concatenating and repeating. So in the lecture we actually showed you how do we concatenate a string. Concatenate means you are connecting two strings together like A, B, C, D. So you basically just get rid of that part and it then becomes A, B, C, D. The second part is A7B, right? This one is a multiplication is different. Replication means you are typing high 4 times, right? High 4 times. So this is what you're gonna see: A, B, C, D, and A7B. So the first two are concatenating. The last one is actually called repeating. So repeat 4 times. 4 times, because here is multiplied by 4. Other string basics with lots of the functions of string. Probably there are about 40-50 methods of string. The basic ones will be name, like find out what's the name of the string, that which means how many characters inside the string. In this case, the blank space will count. So this is gonna give you 11 characters. 11 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's exactly 11. So Python's built-in main function counts all the characters in the string, including the spaces and punctuation. The string index and the slicing. So another interesting thing about a string is since the string is a sequence, therefore we can do index of the string. So like here is the A B C D E F G H I J. So index of this one will be A will have index as 0. B will have index 1, C has index 2, and so on. And I will have the index 8, J will have index 9, and this is a like a one-to-one mapping. So 0 index is A, B's index is 1, and this is the whole thing, right? It's like a table. Therefore, you can actually use the index to referring some values. For example, you sign a string as S, you can check the string as S, right? Here you can run it, and here you can see it, right? Hello world. Now in this case, we can do the string hello. So this is going to be index 0, index 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, right? So S0 is going to be our first character, which is H, right? So it's going to be H, and then S1 it's going to be our E, right? Lowercase e, and index number 2, that's going to be our L, right? So it's going to be L. Then we can use the colon to perform slicing, which grabs everything up to a designated point. For example, if this is a 1, and then the ending, so this is beginning, this is the end, so beginning and end. If we specify the beginning with 1, which means we're going to be beginning with E, right, and to the end. So this one will basically give us from number 1 to the end. So basically it skipped the H. And however, this slicing does not change the value of the S at all. So if you check the S again, it still is hello world. So does not change. So it's just to make a copy of the original one. So starting from E to the end. So in this case, we're gonna grab everything from very beginning to index number 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna stop at L, right? So we're gonna stop at L. So let's take a look. So 0, 1, 2. So it does not include. So it's a less. It's up to the third index. So you only have 3 letters printed out. So it's less than 3. Okay. Note that above of the slicing, so that's everything from 0 up to 3 does not include the third index. Okay. You're gonna see a lot of those. So this one is basically saying I'm gonna have from the start to the end. So that which is same as S, is basically slicing everything. So it's gonna have everything. So it's gonna give you the whole hello world. We also can use the lective index to going backwards. So lective 1 means we're going to going backwards from so this is index 1, right? And then if we go backwards negative 1, it's gonna give us so this is 0. If we go backwards, it's gonna be negative 1. It's gonna be the D, and the negative 2, it's gonna be L. So if you want to try that, you can try. Let me add another one, S. Then negative 2. So this will give you actually L, and then add S lective 3. Lective 3. So this will give you all those interesting ones. So that's actually the L. Next lective 3, it's going to give you the R, right? Going backwards, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, right? And you can grab everything, but the last letter, you can just simply from beginning to the last up to the last letter. So it's gonna give you this kind of string. You can also grab everything, but go into step size as 1. So this basically is gonna give you everything, and every time you increase the step by 1. So from this one to this one, you actually have step 1. And however, you can do step 2, which will skip every other letter. So it's skip every other letter. So it's gonna give you H, then skip E, it's give you L, then skip L, give you O. So that's exactly what you're gonna see right here. You can also use the negative 1 to print the string in backwards, totally backwards. So from beginning to the end, and you going backwards. Hello world, right? If you read from this side, it's gonna be the whole thing. Hello world. The negative index is very interesting, and so when it's applied to the index, it means going backwards. If it is applied to the step, it basically means you going backwards, and the length is actually 1. The step is actually 1, backwards 1. So it's actually going the whole thing backwards, right? For string properties, it's important to note that the string has an important property known as immutability, which means once the string is created, you cannot change it. So for example, I have S right here, and if I try to update or change some values in the string, it's going to give us an error, says the string is not support the assignments. However, if you want to however, we can actually create another string, a new string, by slicing it and then change it. So that will like work around it, but it's not the same string anymore. It's not the same string anymore. So we construct a new string, even we assign the new string to the same variable, but this is a different string. Okay, this is different string. So in that way, we actually change it to hello x, helix world, right? Basic building string methods. There are so many of them. As we mentioned, like you can find the lower upper replace count index is alpha is digits. Many of them, right? For example, this is my hello world concatenate me. So suppose this is the string, you can print it out, you're going to see the string, and then you can turn all the string into uppercases. So it will do that for you. For the string, it's going to see the lower cases. And if you want to split it, you're going to see that every single word, it's used the blank space to split it. It is the default. However, if you want to split with a certain character, you can do that too. Suppose I have W, right? It can split it as well. For example, use the word, the W, you can split the whole string as two section, and then you can do check if the string is alpha. Alpha means it's actually characters, it's a letter or not. Alpha is letters, right? So let's check. You enter a string. Let's say I'm gonna say it's 999. So this is what tells you it's not alpha. Is it not letter? So this one only checks the very first input of my input is 9. So line is not, right? It's not. It's a number. You can do some others. For the string, you can do the formatting. Formatting is one of the ways you can do. So here's the simplest formatting. You basically concatenate. So this indicates this is actually the input of the format. So if you have, so in this case, we only have one input. Therefore, you don't have to specify anything. You just put this as a format. So it's gonna concatenate those two things, right? However, if I want to add another one, so I want to say in string format. Suppose I have multiple of them. I'm gonna say 0, like a parameter. 0 is 0, and then 1 is gonna be my 1, and 2 is gonna be my 2. Okay, so here I do format. Then I can do like 9.99. The second one, CS. Here I can do simple code CS 299, and then the third one I can do just a integer, for example, 1000, for example. So when I do this, what it does is actually, let me run this first for you. You will notice that the first input, I have 0 right here. 0 will index with this one, 0, 1, 2. Okay, this is my input number 1. So this is the input number 1. Number 2 is number 2. So here the curly brackets, whatever the curly brackets indicate, it's gonna be right here. You can do similar things like this one. However, I'm gonna reorder it. I'm gonna reorder it. I'm gonna make it like okay, 2 and 0 1. So what's this output is gonna be? So this one will be actually 1000, right? And then this one will be 99, and this one will be actually CS299. So if I run this, you will notice that, right? It's totally different to that. So the curly brackets with the number, it's actually the index. It didn't matter the order, the sequence. Next one is the escape characters. Escape characters use the backslashes. Backslashes. You use the backslash and with a certain letter indicate a certain meaning. For example, N means new 9, T means the tab key, this single quote, this is a double quote, this slash is the slash itself. So here's the example, right? I want to make a new 9 and then add another new 9, and here's make a new 9. However, I make a tab key, and then this one is actually escape the single quote, and this one is okay because the string is defined as a double quote and then you have a single quote, right? So if you run this one, it's going to be something like this. A single a table key in this case is look like it has 8 characters. So now it's time to come to the exercise. The exercise will be write a program to ask the user to enter string. The program should print the following: the total number of the string, and we can make this one as a assignments too. Okay. So basically, you're gonna do the total number of the characters of the string, and then the string. Repeat 10 times the first character of the string and then first 3 characters of the string. So go ahead and try this one, and here's actually my solution. So we have the answers for A, B, C, D, E, F. G is a little bit more advanced. In the G, you're going to get the if, then, else. Even now, we are not covered that yet. You can skip that. Up to F, you should be all covered. That's about the slicing. K is also not covered so far, but you should be able to do up to G, up to F. Up to F. And then there's another exercise. It's actually a simple way to estimate the number of words in a string is counted as the number of spaces. So again, that's using a for loop, even we're not covered. But you can use this as example to get started with the string. And then we have functions, we have others, okay? But let's first do the simple ones. We can do the simple ones. Number 1, just do up to F, and then for the last one, number 5, 1 and 5. Okay, you should be able to do it. That's all for the string.